Hello everyone, I'm Wolftycho, and I'm here today to talk about indoor mapping and how to make good, effective indoor maps. I'm going to start off with some examples of what I consider a good indoor map before jumping into some practical use cases of some of the stuff I'm talking about. What I wanted to highlight is the use of elevation and depth. A lot of times, indoor maps can end up feeling like you're just walking around in a box, and you're not actually walking around in a building, but you also don't want to have the problem of the map ending up too big to the point that it gets boring. You can have your indoor maps be big, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying it can be really hard. If you don't have a way to fill up the empty space that is in that huge map, it can make it feel way too overwhelming to go around. Another really good map is this map, which is the laboratory in Pokemon Starfall, a project I recently joined on. I was not the person who made this map. There's a lot of good sectioning off the building into different rooms, which is also a really good practice because it leads to it not ending up just feeling like one box because there are different sections. We have this entrance area here, which then goes into this area, which you can go either left or right, but then that's also sectioned off by this levied up part of the lab, which just makes it a very dynamic area to go around without making it feel just like a box. I was asked to give feedback on this indoor map once. There are just some things that could make it better. Mainly the first thing that stands out to me is this area over here doesn't have a purpose in existing. One thing you could do is either get rid of it altogether like that, then it's a very claustrophobic small room, then it's just a box. So I wanted to preserve that sense of somewhat of an interesting shape. This is the first version of me trying to mess around with the first version image, trying to make it look a little better, which a lot of mapping, at least for me, is very guess and check. I don't really get right away this is the way you do this is gonna look good. I try doing it one way, see if it works. If it doesn't, I try something else. This was one of the first things I tried. I thought that the carpet looked a bit weird here, so I tried extending it out. That just made it look very odd. Mainly because there's a lot of, it doesn't balance out the amount of ground below the carpet and above. So I then went over and went, okay, so if that feels completely empty, let's try moving the carpet to fill up more of the space. This looks even worse. Mainly carpet, it's really hard to make it look good, curving around like this. I've done it a couple of times, but it's really hard to do. I would try to recommend not doing it as much as possible. I'm not saying don't do it at all. This was my next version. As you can tell, very different from this. I tried putting a window here to balance off from the left. I eventually decided to try to get rid of it. I overall tried to balance out the left and right sides a bit more, think almost like a scale. It feels like right now the left side of the house has a lot more stuff and a lot more importance than the right side. So I tried balancing it out. I fixed up the carpet by just putting it smack dab in the middle, and it already looks a lot better. As you can tell here, it was 2 tiles high, which looked a bit odd to me, so I brought it in to just be 1 tile, because 2 tiles is just a little tedious to walk through, especially because there's nothing to put there, so it's just a really long entrance for no real reason. But this was not the final version I went with, because once again, there is still a lot of stuff on the left. We have this bed, we have this desk, and even in the center we have this drawer, but then on the right we just have this random bookshelf and book. Then I brought the desk over to the right side of the house. It just balances out the room and the house a lot more, and just resets the balance of power of the room. I hope this illustrates some of what I was talking about with the concepts I was talking about with the other maps, and you can take this knowledge with you into hopefully mapping some great looking indoor mapping for your Game Jam games. I'm looking forward to seeing them. Goodbye.